Hi everyone. So in the previous video we have looked for the LR0 grammar or LR0 parsing. In that we have said LR0 will fail when what will happen when the LR0 will fail, that is either shift or reduce conflict or reduce conflict. So first of all, before moving into SLR1 parser, that is it is a more powerful parser than LR0, we look into a grammar which can be parsed by a LR0. Okay, so look at this grammar. So I have already written an augmented grammar. E dash gives dot e, since e is the starting symbol and e gives what? Dot t. I have made the closures from e gives dot t, from then here t gives what? Dot id brackets of e, and t gives what? Dot id. Okay, so from here when we get e, it will become e dash gives what? E dot. Okay, when we see t, it moves dot to here, then e gives dot t. When id comes, it will look for these two grammars. T gives id dot brackets of e, t gives what? Id dot. Okay, from here brackets comes, it will gives forward, that is here dot will move to here because brackets have already been seen. So t gives what? id dot brackets of e of brackets, e of brackets. Next here dot e, then e's all production will be again made closure. So e gives what? Dot t, t gives dot id brackets of e, and t gives dot id. Then when we see here e, then dot will move to here, so e id, t gives id brackets of e dot brackets. Okay, next when we see closing braces, closing square braces, it will be fully reduced. Oh, here reduced, and here we have seen, here seen, here seen, here seen. Next remaining from here, when we see t here, it again moves to this state, isn't it? T is already been seen, which is a repetition, so no need to write new state. It can move to the previous state which have already been specified. And when id is seen, what will happen? This state, isn't it? id dot brackets of e, t gives id dot. Look at here. What is the problem encountered here? Look at this grammar. Here reduction for single terminal id, the one production is being shifted and one production is being reduced. In a single state, one production is shifted, that is for opening braces it is shifted to the next state, and for single terminal id one is shifting happens, one is reduction happen. So what will be the actual LR0? What will be happening? What will be the LR0 for this? So in the state 3, for the opening braces, it is shifting for what? S4, isn't it? So I write S4 here. Now when it is LR0, this production is the fourth production, so we will write what? R4, 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 isn't it? So this can't be done by LR0 since shifting and reduction comes at a time in a single column. That is, I have said in the previous video, that is shift reduce conflict. Whether to shift, the parser will be stuck here, that is whether it is to be shifted or reduced. It is an ambiguous, a confusion happen, and the parser will stop its task. It does not do anything, it will just stop its task. So this was the problem in LR0, but this can be done by SLR1 parser. How it will do? Look at here. In SLR1, instead of reducing for all terminals, since LR0 is not looking for any specific terminal, in a state if a value is reducing, for example in I2, this grammar, this production is reducing, I will write what? Whole R2 here, isn't it? But in SLR1, because this is the table of SLR1. So in the SLR1 table, instead of writing for all R2, look at here, I didn't write all R2 here. Why? Because I am constructing SLR1 parsing table. In that I don't write for whole R2. I will look into the follow of E. Okay, follow of E will, here T is, this production is being reduced, so look at the production. So production is T, so construct the follow of E. So follow of E is equal to what? Follow of E is equal to, look at for the follow of E is closing braces. So closing braces is the follow of E. So in that only put what? Reduction. Okay, so in that only I will put what? Reduction. Okay, so that is in closing braces only I will put what? R2, that is this production is being reduced. So how we can modify this? Okay, how we can modify this? In the, we look for the follow of T. So follow of T is equal to, so follow of T, T means after T nothing, so we look for what? Follow of E. So follow of E is equal to what? Follow of E is equal to again closing braces, isn't it? So in the closing braces only I write this production is R3. So I reduce, yes, that is R3, and look at here in the opening braces it is shifting, so I just shift for what? S4, that is I4th state it is shifting. So look at here, that conflict is been gone. So in SLR1 parser, instead of writing reduction for the whole terminal symbol, we look for the follow of the production, and if the, and write reduction for only the follow, write reduction only in the follow symbols. Which all symbols comes in the follow, for that symbols we only write what? Reduction. Okay, shifting is the same concept there. Look at here for the next grammar. Okay, so look at here. For I am not writing the whole parsing table for this, you just work it out yourself. But look at here, when ID comes here, when ID comes here, this will go to what? T gives ID dot and V gives what? ID dot. This is a special case that is called reduce conflict, because two symbols, two productions is reducing, that is T and V are reducing in the same state. When you work for the LR0 grammar, it will be like this. Here the production is 1 2 3 4 5 6, isn't it? So in the state 3 it will be reducing for R4 and R6, here also 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 R4 and R6. But when we look into the SLR grammar, this is not the case, isn't it? What we do in the SLR1 grammar? In the SLR1 grammar, we look for the follow. So what will be the follow of T? Follow of T. What will be the follow of T? Follow of T is follow of what? E, isn't it? What will be the follow of E? Follow of E is the closing parenthesis. Okay, next one, look for the follow of, here follow of V. What will be the follow of V? Follow of V is equal to the next first, that is equal to what? Equal to, you must be thorough about the follow concept. So equal to and opening braces. So T production is the fourth production, so I will write in the R4 here and is equal to R6 what here. Okay, so that's the difference here. So in the SLR1 grammar, you write reduction only in that symbols that is contained, or that is in the follow of that is follow symbols. In the follow symbols columns, we only write what? Reduction. So the the grammars which can be done by LR0 to some extent can be done by SLR1, because it is a more powerful grammar since we are looking for only follow. Why we are looking for follow? Because after V, if follow is equal to, then for that equal to only the reduction happens. Not for every symbol reduction happens, since we after we are predicting what will be the next symbol. For that next symbol only what reduction happens. No need to reduce at every time, since plus is not in the scene of V. Plus can't be done anything. It is not in the context of V. Only equal to comes after V. So there only what reduction happens. No other area reduction happens. So you must do reduction only in that concept. Also in SLR1 also there may be occurs shift reduce conflict and reduce conflict. When will it happens? Reduce conflict also occurs here also. When it happens? If the follow of the V as contains, for example, if follow of V contains equal to and closing braces, okay, equal to and closing braces follow of V contains, so here will be R4 and R6, isn't it? So here what happens? Reduce conflict happens. So in the when the follow of the symbols intersection must be what? Null. If it is not null, again in SLR1 also what? Reduce conflict occurs. Also here if the shift reduce conflict also follow must be what? Null. Otherwise if it is not null, then again what happens? Shift reduce and reduce conflict happens, because SLR1 is looking for the follow symbols. If the follow symbols become same, then again the problem of LR0 comes to the SLR1, that is reduce and shift reduce conflict happen. So we need more powerful grammars to handle this. This will be discussed in the next video. Okay, thank you.